So yesterday was Saturday, so I spent a lot of time cleaning, kind of organizing, because Saturday's our reset day. And so we spent that time just getting ready for the next week. And it got me thinking about a lot of different things, one of which was this topic, which I'm super excited for, because today I want to talk about minimalism. So I think a lot of people, when they hear the word minimalism, you think of, kind of these like pretentious, or maybe not pretentious. I always envision them as like pretentious people that live in like rooms that are completely all white, no carpet. They have like a single yoga mat that they sleep on, and they're just like, oh, I don't buy things. I don't like things. I'm a minimalist, that kind of thing. And I think maybe there's been a bad picture painted of minimalism and what it really means. I've been trying to live more minimally for a couple years, I think 2 or 3 years now, and I love it. I think it's awesome, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about it, some of the benefits of minimalism in this video. So I first started thinking about minimalism or living more minimally 2 years ago. I was living abroad, and I found this book. I don't know if you can see it all right, but it's called The Minimalist Lifestyle of the Japanese. The author is Fumio Sasaki. He's a Japanese author. I haven't been able to find, I Googled this earlier to try and find potentially like an English version of this. I could not find one, and so if I find one, I'll link it below. But I would just look up Fumio Sasaki, and he has a couple other books on minimalism, but he's a super great author, and I really like this book. In this book, what he talks about is how minimalism is very much an individual affair, right? There's no like hard set definition for, oh, this is minimalist and this is not. I think some people try to toe that line and make definitions for other people, but when it comes down to it, minimalism is more just about you and what you deem as minimal. But before I dive more into that, I wanted to talk about 3 of the main benefits that I've seen while I've been trying to live more minimally. As you can see, like you can probably guess from behind me, I'm not, super minimal where I have like no things. I still have lots of things, and I like to, buy things and go shopping and whatever. That's totally fine. But I have been trying to live more minimally, and so these are some of the benefits that I've seen. Number 1 is organization and just overall cleanliness. So whenever I'm cleaning, I feel like I'm always repeating this phrase to myself, like these couple phrases. Everything has a home, and I use everything. And so what this means to me, everything has a home. As I'm cleaning, I like to be able to put everything in its, everything has an assigned place, and I want to put it there, or I want to find where that assigned place is. And so, for example, on my desk, I like to have, all my drawers and whatever, and there's like little organizers within those, but I know at the end of the day, I've got a place for everything that goes on my desk. Some of it's in the drawers, some of it's on top of the desk, but I know it's where it's supposed to be. If you find yourself, putting clothes on like chairs, or, just like leaving glasses in your bedroom, this is like where that comes into effect for me, right? Because we know that that's not the home for those places. Like glasses go in the kitchen, or in a cabinet or somewhere else, right? And so what I've done is, as I've tried to put everything back in its home, that's definitely helped me to declutter and be more organized. And so that's definitely something I would think about as you're cleaning is, let me put this back in its home. Where it's its home, it needs to go there. The second thing that I like to repeat to myself when I'm cleaning is everything gets used, or I use everything, right? So everything that I own, I like to make sure that I actually use it, more than once a year, right? And some things are like seasonal. So for example, jackets and stuff like that, right? You only use them during the winter. And so you don't need to like throw away your jackets and then like buy new ones during the winter or something like that. But if you find yourself looking at a lot of the items that you have and saying, well, I might need to use that for like this event, or I might need to bring that here. Any of those questions that are like, I might need to do this, I might need to do that, that's usually a pretty decent indicator that you don't use that thing that much, right? And a lot of those occasions where you might need to bring it somewhere, they come up less frequently than you think they do. And so what I would do is probably take a second look at those things. Do you actually use them? Are they potentially something that could be donated? Anything like that, I would definitely think about it as you're going through your stuff. And so, like I said, repeating these 2 things to myself as I'm cleaning has really helped me to be more organized. And we know that there are lots of different benefits that come from being organized, or just, decluttering, right? So it helps with, anxiety, sleep, creativity, all that sort of stuff. Of course, it's not like the main driver of those things, but it does help in its own little way. And so I will wholeheartedly endorse being a little more organized, declutter a little bit, and make sure you have a home and you have a use for everything that you own. The next thing I want to talk about was I feel less stressed because I have less choices. And that might seem limiting for a lot of people. I really like it, but if that's not your cup of tea, then of course this is probably not a benefit for you. It's been a benefit for me. But there's a study done, and I can't cite my sources off the top of my head, but I remember I read it. There was a study done on jam and something called analysis paralysis, which some of you may be familiar with. Basically, they went to a grocery store and they had 3 kinds of jam on the sample table. And as people would walk by, they would have them sample and then, of course, invite them to buy or try and sell some of the jam. And then they performed the same experiment, but this time they had like 30 kinds of jam on the table. And what they found was people are way less likely to buy when there are way more choices, right? But when there were 3, or somewhere in this little sweet spot, people bought a lot more of the product. So what application does this have for minimalism? I always go back to the example of clothes, right? If you have like a huge closet, full of clothes, oftentimes it gets really hard to, pick what you want to wear. And so what I've done, and I've found this to be really effective, is I just have like a couple really high quality articles of clothing that I really like, that I wear often, and I just keep to those, right? So for example, t-shirts. A lot of people at school have noticed that I tend to wear like the same 5 or 6 t-shirts. I own like 7 Carhartt t-shirts in different colors, and that's just like pretty much what I wear every day. And so what this does is in the morning, it's super easy because I just, roll out of bed, I walk over to the closet, I pull out my 1 drawer of t-shirts, and I just pick whatever one I want. They're not all the same color, but they're pretty similar colors. And so it just makes it really easy for me to get up and just like pick whatever I want, and then I just put it on and I'm ready to go for the day. For me, that's definitely worked. If you're someone who cares a lot more about your appearance and you want to, I don't know, maybe wear a lot of different things, then maybe that won't work as well for you. But it's definitely helped me a lot in the morning because I don't have to make any choices. I just pick any one of my t-shirts and they go with all of my pants and all of my sweaters and all those things like that. So this is another thing, a huge benefit that I've seen is just like, I don't have any analysis, I don't have any paralysis by analysis, right? It just allows me to make decisions really quickly. I can move quickly and then get on with my day. So if you find yourself struggling in the morning to like find out what to wear and pick different things, I would definitely try this, right? Try and narrow down or figure out what are the things that you wear most often and just invest in those things, right? Buy maybe a couple more of that t-shirt that you really like. If you have like a lucky date shirt, I don't know, something like that, right? Invest in a couple more of those, right? If you really like wearing it, just buy more of them. And then the rest of it, you can donate, you can sell on Facebook Marketplace, whatever. But it's definitely something that's helped me a lot. The last benefit that I've seen, or I guess the last benefit that I want to emphasize is, I don't have a better word for it, but just like agility. So if you like to get up and go places, right? You like to go on like weekend trips, or you find yourself always packing. So I commute a lot to school. I have like a 2-hour commute to school, like total. So like 1 hour both ways to school. And so I'm constantly packing and unpacking. And what I found is that not having very many things and really using the things that I have has allowed me to just unpack and pack very quickly, right? I know exactly where everything is and I know exactly where it needs to go. And so when I'm packing for, say, a weekend trip, packing just takes me 15 to 20 minutes because I just gather up all the essentials. Like I said, all my clothes look fairly similar and it just goes in the bag and then we're ready to go and there's no extra stress. And that's it, right? Those are some of the benefits that I've seen from minimalism. I can wholeheartedly endorse, living your own brand of minimalism is just been really great for me. Like I said, I've seen these benefits from it, and I would definitely recommend it to other people. Maybe I'll potentially do like a walkthrough of my closet, so maybe people can see like what it is I actually own and that kind of stuff. But it's definitely been something that I enjoy. It's helped me a lot, and it really guides a lot of my decisions. So I definitely recommend it. Check it out. Dig into it more on Google or something like that. Again, this book I really like, or you can read up other things by Fumio Sasaki. But anyway, that's it.